Welcome everyone to the Moments of Truth one more time. Today we are in a very different situation because we have to Catherine B. Roy, the CEO and founder of LHM Media and LHM Academia. She's one of the best-sellers authors all over the world. She published a book called Live from Your Heart and Mind, and she was the bestseller on its release days in January 2017. Also, she created a system called LIM, System for Emotional and Intellectual Development, Human Potential Thought, Leader, and MENSA member. And today, we're not going to have our typical show. We're going to have a new and unique one with someone as unique as her.
Thank you so much for this lovely introduction.
She's someone that is different to what you imagine. When you look at her, you will not look that she is a geek girl in her heart. The first impression that I had when I met Catherine is that she was, let's say, a teacher or someone from the academia, but we found that she's a programmer.
Oh my God.
And we discovered more than that she's an author of a human relations book, or more something connected about our hearts, our minds, something different. And I would like to know about how did you start in this field of public speaking about human relations? Because, as we said, generally geek girls are not writing these kind of books.
Oh, yeah, generally no, but I am not the kind of that kind of geek. Actually, when I was in high school, my language teacher gave me a very low grade, and it felt very painful because I thought I was a very good writer, So I decided to show her that I can do better, and I applied for the scientific center to go to study linguistics with real professionals from college, and they accepted me. So I went there, and I was 4 years in the scientific center studying about linguistics and psychology, actually, and I was in my high school. So my first scientific work was published when I was 17 years old. And when we were about to present that in front of the audience, the girl who was supposed to do that broke her leg. So someone needed to step up. And that someone, according to my mentor, was me. What I did as a girl at 17 years old, I started to cry. And she came and she said, okay, now you're going to cry and go home, or you're going to do that. So I went on that stage and I rocked it down. And for the next 10 or 15 years, I was always on the conferences, different kinds and types, like 70 or 80 even, and delivering different kinds of speech because I was in diplomacy and I was in leadership and peacemaking and all of that. So yeah, my basic experience is programming and economics because I graduated economics too. But in my heart, I am very interested in human relations, in the way we behave, in the way we do and how we work. And my book and my system are actually algorithms. Because I'm a programmer, I deliver algorithms for people who will, give their own answers to themselves and not get the answer from me. And that's why the book was so popular, because it's different and it's not just written form, but it's kind of a, algorithm geeks aspect of the human behavior.
Well, as you can see, there is always a geek in her heart. We are here today in the Digital Enterprise Show, and in these kind of places, you can see a lot of people who are specialized. And this is something that I will say is becoming too trendy. You go to a job interview, are you an expert in .NET? Are you an expert in PHP? Are you an expert in this? And we have reached a point that I will say it's become not the best in our lives. But we can see that being specialized is not always the best idea, because we have her example. Why do you think it's the best that you were able to combine those skills and not force yourself to become a super geek expert who knows how to only code 24/7 or only how to write? What is that makes you feel that this is a best option?
Well, what I like to say is if Leonardo da Vinci specialized, we wouldn't have a Mona Lisa and a helicopter. Okay, so today's form of education is made for us to specialize so that we can be forced into corporative life, and we think that's the way. So we actually do that, and we specialize very, very, very unique places, and things, and we are the best in. Yeah, that's not life. Okay, you are not born to go to job, to pay your bills and to come home. I believe that that era of education is done, and that the wider education you get, the better position you can have as a thought leader online, especially. And what I discovered when one amazing company like Goldman Sachs was recruiting me a few months ago was that they finally, not finally, but they understood that they celebrate diversity. They want people who know a lot of things about different things because they need new ideas. Okay, so if you ask a Java programmer, and I'm the Java programmer, anything about PHP, I don't know anything, or C# or whatever. Why wouldn't I know that? But when Goldman Sachs is recruiting, they expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 languages that you know, and that you have wide education. I would never become what I have if I was specializing. And I stand firmly in front of that. And against everyone who says that you should specialize, you should be an expert, or specialized, but in several areas, because then you get wider experience and you can combine that into one product, service, and to serve the humanity in the best way, not just as a programmer, but as someone who really can help people to develop their lives.
This is something that I believe, and I agree with you. I have seen, especially, let's say, in the developed nations, let's call Western Europe, let's call Canada, United States, people are becoming too specialized and narrow their minds and opportunities. And I believe in you, I agree with you, and this is something that I encourage all of you to try. Because if you are able to explore more, then you are able to innovate. But if you are specialized only in one thing, you narrow your opportunities.
Exactly.
Now let's move to the part of innovation. What kind of innovation you have been working recently that you would like to share with the world? Something that is new about that you are thinking.
Well, actually, recently I launched my new website, so I have incorporated all the things that my team and I can do. I have to say I have a team. I'm not one-person show because that's kind of impossible. So I have developed personal growth coaching based on my system and business development coaching based on my experiences in online business development. But also I have developed the online academia, that's like e-learning platform for business development. And we deliver all the services anyone who wants to do business online can find out. So it's like one place. If you want to do anything online, just come here and we will have set everything for you. Because I struggled so much and I was learning for the last several years and going left and right, finding authors and so on. So I'm cutting the learning curve from 8 years to 8 hours. Okay, so I think that's extremely valuable. But there is one more thing. My system, which is presented in the book, which is based on algorithms, I actually created an architecture for it, and I would like to develop applications. So book is not so cozy to wear it with you and to check out and do things. But if you play, because there is a part of intellectual development where I developed IQ training. So we activate the 2% of the brain we don't use. And when you activate those 2% of the brain, you can specialize in many areas and you really can operate from the higher level of your potential. And on the other side, fixing emotions. So if you have any kind of emotional block, you need to fix that first and to increase your intelligence, and that you go up. That's what I did. In just 3 years, I just implemented my system. I want to make an app for that so that people can, have it with them and solve their problems and play all the time.
This is something unique as you can see, she's able to mix all those things. But now I would like that maybe you can bring something about your experience as a writer, something that you would like that people get and go to buy your book right now. And additionally, where they can buy it. Because it's something that, honestly, until I met you here, it's the first time that I heard of it, but she's one of the best sellers. So for sure, this is something that you should have with you, either in your funds or either if you want a paperback. But what are those, that small thing that you would like to bring there to those people?
Well, my book is available everywhere on all huge platforms like Amazon and iBooks, Smashwords, Kobo, everywhere. So printed version is available on Amazon, and all ebooks are available everywhere else. So what is different about my book is that it works. Okay, so I was creating the system 10 years. It's not like I sat and wrote the book. You can't play with human lives. You need to know what you are doing. And after 10 years, I just put all those things together. Okay, but I had serious personal experiences like deadly illness. In 2008, they told me I will live just a year and a half. Yeah, so I went to monastery because medicine couldn't help me, and I spent some time there, and I came completely healthy. So after that, I decided to dedicate my life to help people, who struggle or who wants to work on the highest potential to do that. And that is what my book is all about. You can read many self-development books. This is not a self-development book. This is a personal guide, and everyone will get the best of it on its own way. Because I'm not telling you you should do this. I'm telling you solve the algorithm and it will show you what you should do. But that depends on you, if you go left or if you go right, or how you decide to use it. So it's very flexible, and it's very different than anything else in the market. I was endorsed by one of the best leaders in USA. He is New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today bestselling author. He is the CEO and founder of McGill Media, and nominated for Nobel Peace Prize 2 times, Brian McGill. So after he stood behind me, it actually got a lot of attention, and I can only recommend it from my heart.
Thank you.